Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching the Always Direct podcast. I am your host, John Rayan. My guest today is Red Boswell. He is the president of IFPG. IFPG is a membership-based organization with more than over 1,000 franchisors, franchise consultants, and vendors. They guide to aspiring business owners through the process of identifying and investing in franchise businesses. Let's dive right in and see what's happening in the world of Red Boswell. How are you?
What is happening, brother? I got my second cup of coffee, feeling good. It's a beautiful day here in Dallas. How about you? Where are you located, John?
I'm in Chicagoland area, just outside in the suburbs.
Awesome. It's a gorgeous spring. Never a better time in history to be in franchising right now. Things are happening.
Yeah, that's good. That's where we want to start. So you sell you have connections with franchisors. You deal with people who are interested in buying franchise, and you just connected to. You're a matchmaker. You're a love creator. Is that true?
Ooh, I'm a love creator. I'm gonna put that on my LinkedIn right there, baby. Trademark.
There you go. Can I get a piece of
that? You got royalties on that one. Yeah, IFPG is the world's largest franchise consultant or referral consultant organization. We've got, close to 700 independent agents, matchmakers, coaches, advisors. We call them consultants because really that's the best descriptor. The industry might call us brokers. We find, educate, inform, matchmake, guide, handhold, and folks through the process with the right franchisors for them. And yeah, we have a lot of vendors that we hook them up with too, attorneys, CPAs, lending agents, website marketing, you name it. And close to 500 franchisors that work with IFPG to find them the ideal candidates. So they don't have to go through 500 leads. They might go through 5 or 15 leads to get that award, that franchise. It's a cool model.
It is a cool model. You help people sift through all the bullshit.
That's a good, okay. Another tagline.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. There's a lot out there. You don't know who to believe and what to believe, what's real, what's not, what's accurate, what's the right questions to be asking. There's a lot of, the FTD is that thick. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, think back, buying a franchise is a bigger decision than purchasing a house. And does anybody go and list their house independently and then go buy a house independently? I mean, we have realtors for a reason. Now they're less important today than they maybe used to because of the internet, but it's never been more important than ever to have a trusted professional advisor to guide you through this massive life decision. It's been critical. And that's why, consultants, not just IFPG, but consultants in general have risen to be the number one source for awarded franchises, number one source for closed deals in franchising. And we're really proud of that.
Yeah, you should be. I mean, as you know, I have a franchise company. I don't know if you know that or not, if you look at my profile, but I have a company called Papa Ray's Pizza Franchise, and I have a marketing company called alwaysdirectmarketing.com. And basically, the reason I mention it is because I'm a franchisor, right? I just started not too long ago. I didn't pursue it too much, but now I'm pursuing it pretty hard right now. And that's why I wanted to bring you on, is because I love to pick your brain. Plus I have a lot of restaurants. I deal with a lot of pizzerias across the country that do our direct mail marketing through our company.
Wow.
Yeah. And so a lot of them are, they want to franchise one day and they don't know how to franchise. They don't know if they should franchise. They don't know how to sell franchises. And I'm always learning. I'm for my own franchise. So, I was listening to one of your videos, and you said that because the workforce has been, decimated a lot in many industries, most industries, that the franchising this is the best time to be in franchising because they're looking for something to own on their own. So can you dive into that and tell me how that's happening? What's it looking like on your end?
It's really been a perfect storm of greatness for franchising in the development world anyway. There's more people unemployed than we've seen in a decade.
Yeah.
But unlike a decade plus ago in 8, 9, and 10, the banks are lending like crazy. Interest rates are lower than we've seen in our lifetime, probably. The home equity is fantastic. 401ks, which are the number one source for financing in franchising, the rollover, tax-free, penalty-free.
Is that the number one?
It really is, yeah. Yeah. They're hot as can be. I mean, the stock market's way up. So all these things that weren't there a decade ago are there today. And the beauty of it is so many people either got laid off, so we're the answer to their prayers, because 2/3 of franchises are really a job replacement. People don't realize that. They think they got to invest $1 million. There's franchises for 10,000.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's so many people working from home, and they always wondered what would it be like to work from home or get some freedom or not have to drive an hour to work in ugly traffic. And now they got to try that, kind of sample it, and they love it. And so, and I guess lastly, there's no boss looking over your shoulder all day. How are you looking into it? What? Who are you talking to on about a franchise? What? No, you're at home. They're not looking at your computer so much. So the freedom, because what kills deals? You get a great job. That kills a lot of deals for franchise development people. They don't have time to even look because they're such a slave to the boss or the spouse is. And they don't have access. Their 401k took a dive. Their home equity. I get riled up about it, but it is exciting. We are up IFPG over the last 12 months, 92%. Now we're already the world's largest, and we're up 92% in territory checks, and which ultimately are deals. So, yeah, it's a really good time for franchise development.
You're up 92% from 2019.
Yeah, from
or whatever.
I took numbers first quarter 2021 through second quarter 2020. So 12 months starting April 1 to now, basically. Wow. And yeah, 92%.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And so what's the hottest, are you selling a lot of restaurants? Is pizza moving? Is it everything? Is there any specific industries that are, because pizza, direct delivery businesses are killing it.
Yeah. Yeah, the hottest one out there, I mean, we have nearly 500, is this franchise called Papa Ray's. Heard of it? Y'all aren't even in our inventory. What's up?
We'll talk about that. I mean, I want to pick your brain. I want to learn about you. I honestly have never even heard of IFPG before this, before we started connecting, because there's so many companies out there. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So just tell me. So what's on a serious note? What are you seeing selling the most right now?
I can't give you any just names of franchises. There's so many, but sectors that are really hot. Yeah. Certainly any home service. I'm talking anything. I mean, where working from home, you're using your toilet at home. So plumbers, I mean, it ain't sexy, but plumbers are killing it.
Yeah.
And every painting, power washing, gutters. I wish I started a pool company. My gosh, let's install pools. They're backed up a year. So, and of course they're selling franchises because of it. And then delivery, anything related to delivery. The restaurants, I mean, you hear a lot of bad rap about restaurants going out of business left and right, but those who have pivoted, I said it, it's only 5 minutes in, we already got the pivot word out there. Everybody drink. No, pivoted, and now there's some that are like us, doubling in size because of not just delivery. Yeah, sure, there's pizza delivery all day long, and they doubled, but the picking up from the curb, the DoorDashes and the Grubhubs of the world, the Uber Eats. If you're really marketing through that, some of them are killing it. And how do you know? How does the buyer know which ones? They get a consultant, right? Senior care, we're all getting older. The country and the world's aging, and so we've got probably 24 senior care opportunities that are smoking it. Even something as brick and mortar as fitness, you would think, oh my gosh, fitness took a hit, and yeah, most did, but not anymore. They pivoted. They went outside. They went, let's spread them out. They went expanded hours. So, I mean, I go on and on. I mean, I had a list of like 50 franchises on my wall. I erased it the other day, but that were up, quintuple numbers this year over last, or this during COVID, because of the change of work schedule, the change of lifestyle, the change in the in the populace basically through COVID.
Wow. So I want to hear more about you right now. Let's talk. So it's franchising is killing it, and it's not going to probably die out. I think it's going to keep going because people have been there's such a big pent up demand, and people, they want to get out, they want to do something, they want to start making changes because the world has changed, and it's time to either you adjust or you die. So where did you come from? How did you get into this business? You're not the founder, you're the president, and you've been working there since 2019. No.
Yeah, at 25 months. Yeah, I'm 2 years in. I've been in franchising close to 2 decades. Been in entrepreneurship since since diapers. Have I am an employee though. I'm 50 and I'm an employee, and I love every second of it. I could do other things, and certainly I'll own some more franchises. I founded I guess I'll start back in fourth grade.
I want to hear the story about you, Red.
What really got me understanding at an early age the power of duplication and scaling your model through others, where everyone wins, was the crazy story of fourth grade. I discovered some NFL pencils, the Houston Oilers. It shows how old I am. Where Earl Campbell was king, right? So I found these pencils. Everybody in the school wanted them. I was the only one with them. I couldn't handle the demand. I hooked up a friend in each class, sold them the pencils, took an override, and everybody won. And I was Mr. Popularity. They loved me. They're making money. People got pencils. I got money. Everything was so cool. I thought, man, how can I do this? And so throughout life, I found other ways to do that, whether it would be a record store and duplicating efforts there, or claim to fame is some 3 years ago, I founded a pooper scooper service. Not kidding. Cleaned up dog poop. And that's all we did. And scaled it, built it up in 3.5 years, launched, awarded 148 franchises. That was 64 franchisees, 148 franchises as we get into the terms and
unit operators. Yeah.
And so that was I can never be more proud of what we did there. I started that franchising it 17 years ago, and franchisees that came on board with me 17 years ago are still in business today, thriving. I sold it 11 years ago, but I watch them every day with pride, like a parent. So that was really my dive into franchising, because I realized I had a killer model, netting 400, grossing 1.2, scooping dog poop in Dallas. And I realized, okay, let's take this national. How do you do it? Well, get a bunch of investors and I have to answer to them. No, thank you. License it, have no control other than just give somebody my name and they can trash my name. No, thank you. Let's take the best of both worlds, share my model, still have control of quality, train people right, give them support, training, call center, billing center, marketing. And again, it goes back to that fourth grade. Everybody wins. They're profitable if they follow the system. I get the reward of knowing I've changed lives and communities, and heck, a little coin in the pocket too. So it's been fun. I've been global development officer for a couple franchisors with 700 or 1,000 units. And that really helped me see the power globally of franchising. Although the US and Canada is where most people think franchising is most powerful, most well-known, and to an extent it is, but man, it's thriving globally through everybody wants freedom. They want opportunity. And again, it's never been a better time to be in franchising in our country, but globally it's a powerhouse as well.
Wow. You really done a lot. I mean, and not only that, I was looking at your list of books that you read every year. I was like, what the hell? Does this guy sleep? So tell me about, how do you read all those books? I want to talk about how you read all those books every year. I mean, honestly, when do you have the time?
It's I don't watch TV. I mean, that's the answer. And I am a slow reader, so some of it's audio, but and it's when you realize how stupid you are, I'm the dumbest guy in the room.
I don't know. We could argue about that.
But it gives me such a comfort and a peace and a confidence. And I tell my kids this all the time. To know I've read. I think Zig Ziglar said, if you read 3 books on a topic, you're a world-class expert. And on that topic. And I'm reading a book a week on average, although full disclaimer, over the last year, about a year ago now, I started my MBA. Yes, I'm a little late bloomer on the traditional education front, but I just love learning. And anyway, the short story is Palm Beach Atlantic University has the Titus Center for Franchising. It's the only emphasis in franchising that I know of out there from a accredited university. And so I talked to them and said, guys, you got a bachelor's in it. When's the MBA coming in it? And they didn't have a real good plan in place. So I talked to them for a year, and anyway, I'm creating an MBA. I don't know if it'll be a full MBA, but at least an MBA emphasis in franchising for them. And so that Man, that's kicking my butt. So I'm not reading as much in the traditional sense.
In the traditional sense, but you're still reading a lot to stay up with the class.
Yeah, a bunch of crap, man. I tell you what, quantitative methods is not my love language.
No, and most of the time, it's not many people's love language. And a lot of times, that's why I could never go to just stay at school. My first question in school was, why am I learning this? What is this actually going to be? How am I going to use this?
Yeah, no answer.
No, there's no answer. They don't know.
Shut up and listen.
Yeah, I didn't realize what what's that? Calculus. I didn't know what calculus was for until after I graduated.
What is it for?
Well, I didn't understand that the calculus was just the scientific understanding of what speed things are at different levels of distance. So if a spaceship is if there's something falling, any space and time.
See, you know more than I do already. Wow.
Yeah. So what do we need that for? You can give me algebra, give me multiplication, give me division, give me decimals, and I'm done. Let's go. And let me be good at it. But so I was never really good at school. I never really liked school, but you know what? It's necessary to have in order to continue growing in your profession. And
and it teaches you. I'm certainly teach you discipline and responsibility, and helps you mature. But once you graduate, so many people, die at age 30 and are buried at 80 or whatever, because they stop growing, they stop learning, they get old, fat, and lame. I mean, think of all the friends we had when we were 20 something that were out having fun, growing, learning, adventuring, experiencing new things. And now I can't find them except maybe on Facebook.
If you want to.
Yeah. And they're griping about politics. So
exactly. You know what? Let me ask you guys, do you watch news?
You try to say the news. I get my news from Facebook. That's pretty sad. Yeah. I don't, man. It's all negative. What's good is that I figure if it gets bad enough, they'll come get me.
Boom. This is the best advice anybody can ever give you. If it gets bad enough, they'll come tell you. Don't look for it. Don't go out searching for the news because it's always negative. It's always
it'll tear you up. Yeah.
Yeah, mentally.
And none of it ever happens. All the fear mongering. Give me a break.
Yeah, you're right. It's amazing. I mean, they're just trying to get ratings, but they're destroying humanity's brain. Like the positive energy that you need to survive in this world, it gets deteriorated every day, little piece by piece.
Now, back in the cockier days, yes, I was cockier back in the 30s. I used to say, I don't watch the news, I make it.
There you go. I like that. So tell me, now that you are, so how do you make money? So you make money from the franchisor, a little bit from the franchise. How does that work? How does the company IFPG make money?
Man, I get asked that almost daily, and they usually whisper it. So I'm talking to, franchise veterans, consultants that have called me asking about our organization, and we get halfway through the conversation. They start understanding that we are membership organization. We don't get a commission from anybody ever, which is unheard of in our world. And then they go, there's a pause, and they go, Red, how do you guys make any money? It's like, and I'm laughing out loud. I get it, brother. Cause, I asked our founder, Don Daskowski, one of my heroes. I asked him one day, Don, can I share this? Here's an analogy I use. Is it okay to share? And he goes, Red, go for it. It's not real numbers, but I think it hits home the point. We have competitors. We're all friendly competitors. I love my competitors, but I have competitors that are a quarter my size. And yet their founders probably net 10 million a year. We are 4 times as big as them, as I just stated, and yet our founder might net $1 million a year. So we have a very lean model. We don't make, I have consultants making $1.5 million. They're taking home, if they make $1.5 million, they take home 1.4982. They pay us $1,800 a year. They pay us $150 a month. So everything with us is get the best consultant, we win. We train them, or they come to us from other groups without us ever trying to recruit. They just hear about our model, that they don't have to give away 25% of their income to some big entity. We have the best technology, the best support, the best training, the best inventory, and the most freedom. We're as libertarian as they come. And so the franchisor pays a monthly fee. The vendor pays a monthly fee. The consultant pays a very small monthly fee. And everybody's equal. There's no favoritism. I've gone to all these other consultant groups, which again, I love. They're great people. And I did a bunch of deals with them, but I would watch as the franchisors like myself would chase and run around and Brown knows the top performers, and everybody knew who they were because they got all these awards. We actually, it's weird. And millennials don't like it, but we don't give any awards. There's no trophy for third place or first place even. It's everyone's equal. You're making 10,000 a year or 2 million a year. We treat you equal. And man, 98% of the people love that because they ain't making 2 million a year. They're making, 300. And yet we still treat them the same way. Or the Zor that's doing 4 deals a year versus 80 deals a year, we treat them equal too. Everybody has equal opportunity to get their message in front of the consultants, to market, to attend our events, to get in our magazine, to do the podcast, do everything we do. They're all equal, and they just freaking love that. So that's a big part of the secret of our success, if you will.
Definitely. So that is like the CarMax approach. A dealership, it's slimy, slime balls. It's nasty. You don't know who to trust. You don't know what they're lying. They're all playing games with you, and you're in their zone. Then you got CarMax. You walk into CarMax, you know that these guys, they want your business, but they're not gonna lie, steal, cheat to get the business. They're just gonna tell you, here's what it is, here's what it costs. There's no negotiating. You want it? Absolutely, I'll give you good service, but I can't discount it. It's CarMax. So that's kind of
take it one step further. If CarMax did this, it would be even a better analogy. If CarMax said, hey world, if you want to sell your car, bring it over to our lot, pay a little bit per month, and we will sell it for you. And you will not pay us 1 penny for selling it for you. You just pay us a lot fee, a monthly membership in our world, and we will sell it for you, and you keep 100% of it. That's kind of what we are. For the Zor, there's no risk. You're paying, instead of spending 20 grand in marketing, hoping you might get a deal, and risking $20,000 and going through 500 leads, you spend maybe a couple hundred or a couple thousand with a consultant group like IFPG. Sorry for that little plug, but you spend way less. You risk like 5% what you would risk if you're marketing to hopefully get a deal, because you're paying a success fee. You're paying like a realtor, a commission after the fact rather than 20 grand upfront hoping.
What is that? What is that success fee?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. So we do not have a official minimum rule. Again, differentiator for us. Most groups say if you don't pay 24 or 25,000, you're kicked to the curb. You're not allowed in our inventory. With us, we don't have that rule. So we welcome emerging. We welcome the low investment franchises, which are the most popular, honestly. And so there's not a rule, but most will be around half to a little more than half of the franchise fee. But that's a very generic answer. I have some that the franchise fee is 30 grand. You don't want to pay just half if it's 30 grand. The average is 28,000 if we're going to be real honest in commission per deal.
Really?
So, yeah. But the average franchise fee is upwards of 50,000 now. We have them that are even 60 and 70 and 80 or 90. I mean, depending on a lot of things, but franchise fees are not your grandpa's franchise fee where it was 25 back in the day.
You know what? Ours is 25. We just raised it to 30.
Well, see, Rhett.
And I was like, I don't know if we should do that. but I deal with I have a guy he's like my mentor consultant kind of relationship, and he's like, you need to raise it. It's normal now. And I'm like, okay, we'll go up 5,000. But
tell you what, think about this. I've got like a 7-minute video on YouTube about this, the biggest mistakes franchisors make. And the first one in that list is setting your initial franchise fee too low. You have to pay so much out of that. Now, I get that you're not in business to make money off a franchise fee. Awesome. You're there to make money with royalties in the long term. Cool. That's a great model. Every franchisor pretty much would agree with you. But dude, you still got a lot of expenses in that franchise. You got to train them. Unless you got a separate training fee, which very few do, the weird thing is restaurants are, for some weird reason, restaurants have an average franchise fee lower than most, and yet their average investment is higher than most. I don't get it, but.
Yeah. So let's just, for sake of an example, Papa Ray's Pizza decides to work with IFPG. What's the monthly amount that will cost to get into the program?
Sure. We have, we love emerging brands. Most groups, again, do not even allow emerging brands. We welcome them. I mean, every brand was emerging at some point. Let's get them going. So we have it as low as $125 a month, period. There's no $50,000 to join. There's nothing. It's start out day one, $125 a month. Our most popular plan is $275 a month for most brands. And then we have about 10% of our brands that really want to get aggressive, and they still pay $275 a month, but then they commit to $1,000 or more per month in marketing. Some are spending $2,500 a month in marketing to get really aggressive. Marketing means exposure to the consultants, getting their brand in front of them through regional events, through our magazine, podcast, website takeover, sponsorships. We've got dozens of ways to get your brand. Because I mean, consultants, we got nearly 700. They need to know you. They need to like you. They need to trust you. Well, that takes repetition. That takes exposure. And, it may take you a year or two to really gain that trust, or you can do it a lot faster through a lot more avenues of exposure.
Yeah. You know what? Right now, there's a couple of things. You have a salesperson who's involved with in the industry, he's got his finger on the pulse of the economy and the franchising business, but also like Franchise Gator, Franchise Direct. You have these companies that they're like more generic, but you get a lot of leads, but a lot of 90% don't even answer the phone calls.
Dude, yeah. Speaking my language, I was a franchisor for many years, of the chief development officer for some big brands, and I'll be real, man. I'll be direct, because I always am. I'm a marketer. I mean, the 5 words to describe myself in business is a entrepreneurial franchise executive, sales and marketing. So marketer. And I thought, dude, I don't need brokers, consultants. Give me a break. I know how to sell franchises. I know how to market franchises. And I'm out there marketing them. I'm on 3 portals. And the portals are my friend. I'm not saying don't be on portals, but I was literally, real numbers here, no hype. 4 years ago, 2017, I'm on 3 portals. I'm spending $1,000 a month. $5,000 a month. I spent $60,000 on 1,200 leads. I'm getting 100 leads a month. I closed, Mr. Rockstar sales guy, franchise development rockstar, one deal. I went through 1,200 leads. I called them each like 10 times. I emailed them like 30 times. I texted them like 50 times. I mean, I am a follow-up king. I'm hitting them every way. I'm calling them. They're cussing me out. They don't speak English. They're hanging up on me. They're not answering. I wasted a couple lifetimes pursuing 1,200 people to get one deal. On the flip side, I was doing one deal out of 12 with the consultants. And that's what made me fall in love with the consultant model. My life became a lot better. Risk finance. I didn't spend 60 grand to get a deal. I'm spending 600 or 6,000. I'm spending hundreds rather than tens of thousands to get to a deal. So it was just fun. I made a lot of friends. I fell in love with the industry and never looked back.
That's interesting. That's for anybody listening. That's 1 out of 12. That's, and you're scooping up poop.
Well, I didn't do it with the poop scooping back in the day. I sold Pet Butler in 2010. And we had a really low franchise fee, and I couldn't even spell the word consultant back then, or broker. So yeah, I did not work with them back then, but back then. It was a different world, man. And 5, 6, 7, 8, those are the years I was killing it. Portals were kind of king. I mean, I was doing 3 things: PR, portals, and SEO. And PR back then was lead gen. Today, PR is a whole lot more lead nurturing, not lead generation. Sure. Way more. It's a different world than PR. Not saying it doesn't happen, but it's way different. Portals have become a little bit, is hoard out okay to say? And then number 3, SEO is always king, but it's a lot more expensive and more competitive today than it was, 15, 20 years ago. So I had to, let's do it again, pivot and go towards less risk and more fun. Yeah,
that's very interesting. I could talk to you about your first business, the pooping company. What was the name of it?
Well,
I have a big dog.
It was like my 50th business, but it was a Pet Butler.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. But that was the big one, right? That was the one you expanded, you scaled the hell out of it, you sold it. I mean, that's like the American dream right there, right?
Yeah, amen.
And something that people don't want to do. So let me just give you a little background. I have a big dog, an Australian Shepherd and Lab mix. I didn't want the dog. I have 3 little kids at home. I did not want the dog. For 10 years. I won. Then I lost, and we bought a big dog. Now, I love the dog. He comes to me every week. Normally, he's here with me at the office, except for sometimes he barks, so I don't bring him with me today. But the backyard poop situation is nuts. It's
How
disgusting.
much did you pay for your backyard? Think about it. You know,
I don't want to talk.
Hundreds of thousands. The yard was an extra 100,000 to have a yard, and yet you don't use a yard because of stinking dog poop. So, yeah.
Crazy. So I'm trying to train him to poop in one spot. He's a smart dog. I think it's going to work, but he's still all winter long. He pooped everywhere. Right. And then all the snow melted and it's just like poop mummies everywhere, and I'm just like, I need to get a company to come out and clean up the poop. And I can't believe I have to pay for somebody to do that, but I'm really getting down to that point. And it's so funny you said it because I'm looking up places not too long ago. It's such
if you can franchise that, you can franchise anything, man. Exactly. But you know what? When Jordan was talking to me about doing this, and I love that there was nothing before this. Like, you didn't send me a single question. You just said, man, we're going to have some fun and talk franchising, right?
Yeah.
And Jordan did say, hey, we're going to talk about the foundations, how to franchise a business. And you got to have your freaking act together. Okay. This ain't, hey, I think I want to franchise. Let's go. Hey, I got a cool model. I think everybody in the world will want it. I talk to people almost daily who have that mindset. I have the best things since sliced bread, and people are going to just jump all over me to acquire my model. They don't have their act together. They are playing in a big boy and big girl game, and they will get crushed. So I'm trying to scare you off if you're considering franchising, because it is not something to take lightly. If you become a franchisor, you have a new family. You are no longer a whatever you have created the model for. You're not. You are a franchisor, and your entire life, you have a new mistress, you have a new family, you have a new wife, whatever you call it. You are no longer that. You are this. You're a new creation, as they say in our Christian faith. And so you just got to understand, it is a big boy world, 100% commitment, 1,000% commitment, a lot of money. It'll cost more. It'll take more time. Everything I'm saying will hopefully scare you off if you are not ready, because it will chew you up and spit you out if you are not really, really doing it right. It's like building a house, and you do it everything. The house is perfect. Oh, except for that corner of the house. Instead of using a big old 8x8, timber for that corner, we decided to use bamboo. The whole house will fall down. And so anyway, I got on a tirade there. You didn't even ask me about that, but people need to understand it is not for sissies.
No, it's not. It's not. And trust me, I've been through it. I'm going through it right now. It's a whole new animal. It's not running a restaurant. It's not running a business. It's a different business within a business, and you need to focus on it because people are putting a lot of money behind it. They're putting their life saved. They're depending on you to not screw them up or hurt them, and you have to support them in so many different things. And you think what's obvious to you is not obvious at all to 99% of the world, and it can get frustrating. You can have internal struggles. You have to grow as an individual to accommodate. Otherwise, you will lose it and you will fail, and you don't want that to happen, of course.
Yeah. Amen. I see guys that have they're a franchisor, they have another business, they have a family, they do a podcast. I mean, they're doing all these things. and then they try. I'm not talking about
this guy.
And then they try to be the franchise development rep for the franchisor too. Like, I know it better than anybody. I have the passion. Yeah, true. But you cannot be the friend ever. I tried it. I'm guilty. Chief of sinners right here. I tried to be the friend ever rep because nobody loves it. Nobody has the energy and the passion for it than me. But I had dude, you just cannot do it all. So you got to delegate. You got to learn. You got to invest. Yeah. So anyway, tirade. I keep jumping on tirades. I love this.
No.
I just want to save people heartache.
Yeah. You know what? You got the right energy, man. I love it. I love your energy. I'm trying to absorb it like a sponge. Yeah. I'm not one of the most high energy people around myself, but I think you beat me. So you're an inspiration. So that's good. I got another question for you. So when franchisors the majority of your business comes from franchisees or franchise? I see you wear red shoes a lot. That's kind of funny. You have a very
right now it's just socks, but
you have a very fun name, Red Boswell. I mean, it's just like, doesn't sound like a real name. It sounds like a character.
Well, thank you. My real name's Matthew. A little trivia.
Is it?
Dude, when you got red hair, everybody calls you Red anyway. Might as well, own it.
No shit. I thought it was your real name.
No. I mean, I go by it. Nobody knows my real name, but yeah. My sons.
That's a good marketing point, honestly, because it works because everybody remembers you.
I love branding. I love marketing. And I've got 3 kids, and 2 of them I was able to name them before my wife got out of the ether. And so
Good
my
job.
oldest son is Mason Blaze. And my middle son, are you ready for this? It's like a cartoon character superhero, Max Cannon. I'm proud of my kids' names. They're proud of my kids, but anyway.
No, stop, brother. Let me tell you why that's funny to me, very funny to me, because I have 3 daughters, right?
Yeah.
10, 5, and 4. And all 3 of them, I wanted to name them after ancient Egyptian, queens, right? Nefertiti, Hatshepsut, and not Cleopatra, but there was one more. Oh, Alexandria. I actually named my one of them. I got the last one. I got Alexandria in there. But my wife, when she heard the Nefertiti and Hatshepsut, she said, "You can get the hell out of the room, please."
Hey, honey, have another epidural.
Let's pump her up with some more drugs. But no, but the thing, I wanted to give them something that which they can live up to. The things they're like, they are all powerful. They believe it. A name is very powerful. I mean, you don't realize it, but it has a huge power over you. It helps dictate how you feel about yourself internally from the day.
Totally, man. Totally. Speaking it, preach it. I mean, my daughter, who's the youngest, 14, I kept trying to name her Mission, Mission, Mission. That was the ultimate. All our kids have M names, except for her. She's like the redheaded stepchild, But my wife would not have it, and I caught her too late out of the ether. So her name's Brady.
Brady. Well, hey, you know what?
I got 2 out of 3.
You did your best. I mean, honestly, you did better than most. I only got 1 out of 3.
Well, but did you at least get like the middle name?
No, the middle name I named it after like my mom, and I gave the middle name to somebody important.
Okay. Nefertiti wasn't important. I get you.
Yeah, come on, man. I mean, these women are conquering the most strong, the largest society in the history, and it was women running it, so or being part of it, or being very powerful in that time, which is now that was like women's rights. I mean, there was women's rights back then. I mean, I don't know what happened. Something happened and it reversed, but now it's coming back with a vengeance.
Amen. I mean, some of our very best consultants are women. I mean, if you think about it, men love to buy. Now, we don't close deals. We're trusted advisors, matchmakers, coaches, but men love to deal with women, and women love to deal with women. I mean, women just have an extra amount of an extra bonus, I think, in the world of consulting, advising, and sales.
Yeah, definitely. I prefer to deal with women directly. Honestly, I over guys, almost everything.
I mean, even buying through your used car analogy, they're less intimidating. They're more softer spoken, a little more kind sometimes, and less intimidating.
Yeah, definitely. So when you have a client, do you recommend them to do? I don't know did I just ask you this? Do you have more franchisees potential franchisees looking to buy, or do you have more franchisors? What's the majority of your business coming from?
Well, 2 parts to the answer.
Or is it 50-50?
IFPG, we could do gazillion deals and not make 1 penny because IFPG corporate does not ever get a commission. Our 3 income streams really are the franchisor membership, the vendor selling to the franchisor membership, and the consultant membership. They're paying a monthly fee, man. We're simple. We do have some big events where we make a little income, and we train new consultants. So those are the 5. But our client we never corporate right there. We never touch the Z. Now, the second part of the answer is the consultants. I mean, when you got hundreds and hundreds of awesome independent consultant agent matchmakers out there, the number one, I mean, we do $1 billion probably through all the deals we put together. It's kind of like the Keller Williams or the Remax of franchising, largest group out there of independent agents. I mean, some are doing 3 deals a month or more. So if you've got nearly 700, the number keeps growing, but close to 700 consultants, and some consultants doing 2 deals, some doing, 42. But you start doing that math, and the average deal is X. I mean, the average investment, is over 200,000. We got some that are 20, some that are 2 million, but 200 is around the average. And you multiply that times, 680 people times 8 deals per year. I mean, you're talking a lot of money. And so, yes, the Z is ultimately keeping everybody in business.
Wow. Sounds exciting, man. I'm glad I met you. I'm glad you came on. I appreciate you taking the time.
You doing any franchise events? You get out there and market Papa Ray's?
So we in the pandemic, I decided to expand heavily. I have not spent a penny in many years promoting it internally. We're growing slowly. Like I don't know why we weren't. We have a corporate location that does really well. We got a little comfortable. I'll tell you that. That's what I guess you could say. But I decided I'm going to go 100% into it. I'm going to hire a mentor or / consultant that I talk to every week.
Wow. Good.
Lance Graulich. You might know him. You ever heard of his name?
I know the name. Does he have a company name behind that?
Yeah. You know what?
See, this is a great example. I have consultants that stress for months over what they're going to name their company. Nobody cares nor remembers the name of your company. They know you. Lance is a consultant, maybe not a referral consultant like our people, but it's about the person. Do they know you, like you, trust you? Guess what? They don't care what your name is of your company. I love this. Just
ION franchising.
ION.
ION.
Oh, ION. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He works with FranServe.
Okay.
In affiliation with FranServe. Yeah.
The B team. It's all right.
Yeah, he's a good. I like that little.
I love Brad. Don't worry about it. Love those guys.
Sour Patch. You trip them and then you give them, a Band-Aid. So yeah, I mean, I want to start going to trade shows and I want to go 100% into it. I'm spending a little bit of money with this gentleman. I'm spending a little bit of money with Franchise Gator. I'm spending a little money with Franchise Direct. Leads come in, get siphoned over to him. He calls them, does his sales pitch. They say you need to get like 500 leads in the pipeline. That's ideal. And then you'll sell one every 100 leads, one out of every 100 about. And I guess that seems about right. It's a big purchase investment. Why are you smirking? What's going on? I see you smirking. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, in the whole world of franchising, all the lead sources, the average is 0.08. So it's 0.8%. So basically 1 out of 120 leads become a deal, but portals, it's more like 1 out of 500 to 600. Now the portals, I love them. They're my friends. They're cussing me right now, but the portals love to still say it's 1 out of 100 is what you should. And if you don't, it's your fault, not theirs. But portals are not 1 out of 100. Even back in the day, 18 years ago, I wasn't doing 1 out of 100 on the portals. You heard me. I killed it at what I did, and I did 1 out of 1,200.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I would say that picking up poop is a little bit less sexy than owning a pizza place, but the numbers speak for themselves. I would probably, if you were, the profit margins on picking up poop is a hell of a lot better. I'll tell you that much, right? Everybody knows the restaurant business's margins are small. You have to have lots of volume. It's a lot of work, a lot of employees. You got 6 compressors running. You have a rent. I mean, you have to be in a good location. I mean, there's a million things going on. Pooper scoopers, picking up poop. I mean, it doesn't sound sexy, but I can just see how much profit it could be because, it's a van and a guy and you have a route, like the True Green Grass Company. These guys they're spreading seeds. They're fertilizing your lawn, or they're the Mosquito Joe guys. They're just coming in spring. It's all the same.
Yeah. Time is money. Time is money in a service, a mobile business. Density is profitability. That would be a tattoo if back in the day. Density is profitability. The denser the route, the more profitable it will be. And it takes a while to get a dense route, man. But when you get a client, you're hitting, every 20 houses around it, you're doing door hangers. I mean, little things like that will make or break a business.
Yeah, definitely. So are there any conventions coming up? Any trade shows coming up that you would recommend?
Bunches, my brother. Yeah. I mean, of course.
Are they going not virtual? I'm talking about like real ones.
Dude. Yeah. We've been doing them. I mean, I saw a question on LinkedIn the other day. When are you going to be ready to go back to live conventions? And it was like, 2022, third quarter, second quarter, fourth quarter. And I'm like, I never stopped going to, I mean, we had one, I went to one in December of 2021. We had a regional event that sold out in a day in Atlanta in February. We have one in 2 weeks in Charlotte with, again, we're going to have 60 people there only because the facility won't let us have 150. And this is elite members only. I mean, we're selling out of every one of our events. We'll have 400 people at our retreat in October. Now, I know it sounds like a commercial. There's plenty of other events. Yes, I created the Franchise Executive Symposium, which is in a week at Titus Center for Franchising in Palm Beach Atlantic University. We got MFV is doing 3 shows. Nashville is like in a month. We got in September, I got IFE in New York City. We've got Houston. The Springboard is coming up this fall. Franchise Leadership and Development Conference is going to happen in October. There's a lot of things. If you think about franchise industry, we're not living in fear. We're out there making it happen. A lot of franchise development people are road warriors. They are not worried about catching a virus. They are concerned about changing lives. And not to belittle anyone that is fearful, I get it. I respect it. We always have masks at all our events to respect everybody. If I have a picture taken at the event without somebody in a mask, I can't even post a picture now because people are so, they're so uptight.
I know. I'm right there, man. I'm right there. Listen, there's a lot of people worried. I see people walking their dogs outside with a mask on. You just can't stop that. It's just like it's scary. That's why.
But we respect it and we deal with it.
I know, but there's an extreme. I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense when you're doing it. I mean, absolutely, you should be protected, and especially for the elderly. My parents are still they're in just about to be 70. I mean, you have to be careful, but walking your dog outside alone, it doesnn't make any sense. And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
My 75-year-old parents got it 8 months ago. And they were both. They actually called it the flu. My 70. Yeah, I got that flu COVID thing. Like,
that flu COVID.
Dad, you need to be careful. Somebody's got to make a living here. I'm like, Dad, you're 75. You don't need to make a living anymore.
Somebody's got to make. It's funny. My dad says the same thing. Somebody's got to work. If he sees me laying around, if I'm ever not working, he's like, somebody's got to work. I'll go back to work. I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about right now?
You calling me lazy, Dad?
Basically, it's like and then he'd be like, "Hey, you want a sandwich?" I'm like, it's like a Sour Patch. So yeah, I mean, I would love to. Let's connect after this podcast and give me some information and how much. So $275 a month or $1,000 a month, or I'm down. I'm signing up right now. I'm just gonna do it. Well, there's no contract, right? Is it a year? Is it a year? 6 months? What is it? Is there a contract?
I mean, you're misguided, and
I'm misguided.
No, someone is misguided, not you, of course. Someone is misguided if they join a consultant group or get into, franchise development within the broker world and don't give it a solid year. I mean, yes, we allow franchisors to leave after 6 months. No big deal if it's not for you. But if you are in it 6 months and going, it's not working, give me a break. It's relationships, exposure, building trust takes a little while. I mean, my first year, when I knew no one in franchise consulting, I did 11 deals and I didn't do a single deal in 6 months. But the last 6 months of that year, I did 11. Next year, I did 24. And the next year, I did nearly 48. It was like 46. No different work ethic, no different budget. They just got to know me, to like me, to trust me. And we started doing deals left and right. And I wasn't paying even as much as my competitors were paying, but they knew I was legit. I was direct. I was hardworking. I would follow up and keep them involved. I just knew what I was doing and they liked it. So.
All right. Sounds good. Sign me up. Give me the most popular package. I'm serious. I'm not joking.
It's the $5,000 a month package. Yeah.
Little bait and switch right here, right on my podcast. How dare you embarrass me? No, I'm just joking. No, you said about $275, give or take.
Yeah, that's the most popular. You want a budget if you're a franchisor. You want, $275 is a very popular model, very good value. You want to budget another $4 to $5 to participate in the annual retreat, the big conference we do. It's not required, but you
got to shake hands and kiss babies. You got to get to know the people. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. You just throw money. And
it's at Margaritaville Resort in Hollywood, Florida, on the beach, so it ain't too bad.
Okay, so you bring it's a couples thing, or what is it?
If you want, yeah. There's some events that are all party. There's some events that are all education. Our event has plenty of party and some education, but by far the reason we exist is to connect franchise professionals. We're connecting vendors with Zors, Zors with consultants, consultants with Zors. We're connecting. And so a ton of ours is speed networking and sitting next to a different person at every meal. We assign every seat all the time. So people, I mean, again, it's not to be a sales pitch, but they love our events because they're there to connect. And what does connecting mean? Deals. It means change lives and money.
Yeah.
And so that's why we exist. Yeah.
You know what? This is going to sound like a silly question, but what is Zors? I don't even know what that means.
Oh, baby. Reel it in. Come on. All right. Zor, baby. You franchisor, franchisee.
Oh, gotcha.
Z.
Gotcha.
All you newbies out there, do not forget that, because if you ask that question and you are a franchisor in front, the people are going to kind of look at you a little different. Zor, Z, because we say franchisor, 3 syllables. We say that like every 2 minutes of our lives.
Too much.
We just shrink it down.
Bring it down. Smart. I like that. Now I'm in the know now.
You're in the club, man. You're the Zor.
I'm the Zor. All right. Well, it's been great talking to you. I love your energy. Let's connect after the podcast and let's sign me up. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Thanks,
All right.
John. Appreciate everybody.
Thank you. Take care. Appreciate it.
Yeah.